I mean, Ryan, that looks bad. Why is Travis Kelce not following you anymore? These are real things. These aren't just us bullying you and so on. We are not gonna just keep accepting whatever narrative you and other high profile celebrities demand we follow.
Disney has officially ended its relationship with Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively. Yes, it's true. Two of the most popular and admired celebrities in the entertainment world are no longer connected to the company behind some of the biggest films and shows. This shocking development has taken fans by surprise, and many are asking what went so wrong. Was there some kind of backstabbing incident? Or was it something that left Disney with no other choice? People are speculating, but no one saw this coming. Ryan and Blake have always appeared to be on good terms with major studios, and their projects have pulled in huge audiences. Their charm, talent, and chemistry have made them fan favorites for years. So what happened behind closed doors that caused such a major fallout? Some insiders say that differences in values and creative direction may have played a part. Others believe that Disney might be tightening its image and distancing itself from stars who don't align with certain long-term goals. Regardless of the exact reason, it's clear that something big went down. What this means for their careers remains to be seen, but one thing is certain, this split has everyone talking.
Ryan Reynolds has a very lucrative deal through Fox, through everything, that he's in bed with them. They can't afford to cut him loose, but they can have a talk and tell him, Ryan, this is not good. But Ryan seems to be so stubborn and aggressively trying to prove the proof is out there, and I don't know what this man is thinking. But from what I've heard now from multiple, I heard this a little bit ago, and I heard it from some newer sources today, confirming that yes, Bob Iger himself and Disney have been trying to get Ryan Reynolds to drop this nonsense. Just like Taylor Swift, just like everybody else involved, nobody wants to be involved in this. And now they've put on a brave face. They have made it clear they're not going to play nice pool with Justin over these Deadpool requests of getting information from the film. But it's just as right. This is all absolutely valid. This is not frivolous. He is demanding that they hold on to these documents so that he can do his discovery to figure it out. It's not up for a judge to deem what's frivolous this early on in a case. That's what the case is for, Ryan. And so you don't get to just throw your power around and keep demanding that it's frivolous and to go away. And blah, 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 blah. You are so out of touch. It's wild. You guys started this lawsuit. Let's not forget, you were the ones who started the lawsuit, and Justin's proven fairly that a lot of what your wife is saying didn't seem to happen.
Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively have always been seen as one of Hollywood's top couples. With his quick humor and big movie roles and her grace and beauty, they seemed unstoppable. Ryan had a strong connection with Disney, especially after the company bought 20th Century Fox, bringing the Deadpool franchise under its control. Even though Deadpool wasn't Disney's usual family-friendly style, it became a major success. Ryan brought energy, comedy, and creativity to the role, making fans excited for more. But behind the scenes, things were not as smooth as they appeared. While Ryan was deeply involved with Disney's plans, Blake's link to the studio was much weaker. She hadn't taken on major roles in Disney projects, which some believe may have caused extra stress on their partnership with the company. With all eyes on Ryan, managing both Disney's expectations and his personal career choices became difficult. Ryan's attention was also divided by his growing number of business ventures, like Mint Mobile and the soccer team Wrexham AFC. These outside interests, while successful, might have made Disney feel like they weren't his top priority. Studios spend heavily on their stars, and in return, they expect full dedication. There were also quiet talks of disagreements over creative ideas during early plans for Deadpool 3. Whether it was scheduling, creative conflicts, or general frustration, it seems pressure was building. Eventually, insiders say Disney reached out to Ryan to talk things over, but it may have been too late to fix the issues. In the end, the decision to cut ties wasn't made quickly. Something serious must have happened to push things this far. Though fans may never know every detail, what's clear is that this split marks the end of a powerful chapter for both stars and the studio.
Why are they still so quiet, Ryan? Because you guys are trying to force down a narrative, and we are refusing to accept it. Now, I wasn't there, but all I know, a lot of crew members now I've spoken to who were there, they all say this didn't happen. But was there some other miscommunication or problem with your wife and Justin? Maybe. But was all this worth it? Absolutely not. And now it's affecting your work. Now it's affecting your boss over at Disney, which you finally got to step in with this big, huge, successful movie. But now you can't even post an Instagram post without leaving the comments on. You have to turn them off. Like, this is not good for your brand, brother. This is not worth it. Now, I've had other sources, less of them, but sources deep inside saying divorce is going to come in a couple years.
Disney is known for being very careful with its choices, especially when dealing with famous actors like Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively. So, for the company to cut ties with them, something serious must have happened. According to some reports, one event in particular may have forced Disney to act. Strangely enough, this turning point might not have happened on a movie set at all. Disney is very protective of its brand. The company follows strict rules to make sure its image stays clean and family-friendly. That means even their biggest stars must follow these standards. Ryan Reynolds is known for his bold jokes and edgy projects, which Disney seemed to tolerate until things changed. The problem appears to be linked to a legal fight between Reynolds and actor-director Justin Baldoni. This case quickly turned into a public mess, and Disney didn't want to be dragged into it. Insiders say Disney executives, including CEO Bob Iger, reportedly stepped in and asked Reynolds to drop the lawsuit. That alone shows how serious they thought the situation was. At the center of the conflict is a defamation case. Baldoni claims Reynolds tried to damage his reputation. Reynolds' lawyers say Baldoni's claims are just attention-seeking nonsense, calling it a publicity stunt. But Baldoni's legal team hit back hard. His attorney, Brian Friedman, claimed they have strong evidence to support their side of the story. It's also rumored that this whole drama started because of a scene in a Deadpool movie that may have mocked Baldoni. People who worked on the film say there was a hidden joke aimed at him. Fans are used to Reynolds' sharp humor, but this time it may have crossed a line. What started as a joke has now turned into a full-blown legal war, and Disney didn't want to be caught in the middle of it. Baldoni has accused Reynolds of not handling the lawsuit well, saying his response was immature. Whether or not that's true, it clearly made things worse. Disney has a history of dropping celebrities who bring too much negative attention. Think of past cases like Johnny Depp or Gina Carano. Those situations created headlines Disney didn't want. This case might not be as clear yet, but the company clearly saw enough danger to act. No one from Disney or the actors' teams is giving public details yet, but the pieces of the puzzle suggest this decision wasn't made quickly. It took time, warnings, and probably many tense conversations behind closed doors. In the end, Disney likely felt there was no safe way forward while this legal drama continued. Now fans are left wondering what this means for the future of the Deadpool series. With Reynolds gone, and the franchise tied so closely to his unique personality, it's hard to imagine how Disney will move forward. One thing's for sure, this split is going to have lasting effects across Hollywood.
You're constantly out there trying to say, no, we're victims. Believe us, we're victims. I don't believe you are. There's so much more important stuff happening in the world, and real abuse with Harvey on trial and others. The Diddy case. These are real cases we should be focusing our energy on and time and resources, not because he looked me in the eyes while I was breastfeeding. This is absolutely ridiculous. Talk about frivolous. But anyway, now he's trying to ask the judge to ding Justin's team financially. But JB has pointed the finger back. Of course, this is all, every time there's a story, someone does one and then they do the other. And I'm getting a little bored of it all because, yeah, the Deadpool star on Tuesday hit back against JB and his team with a request for monetary sanctions, which they say is reaction to the preposterous defamation lawsuit that makes a mockery of the legal system. That's not up for the judge to deem. This is why we're in discovery. This is why we're doing depositions. Dude, you don't get to just end it before he's even gotten to ask people and get the facts. There is enough here to get information. The fact that your team was out there asking Taylor to delete text messages and show support.
Ryan Reynolds has become nearly inseparable from the character of Deadpool. His sharp wit, perfect timing, and unique style helped turn the foul-mouthed anti-hero into one of the most recognizable and loved figures in superhero movies. But his role has gone far beyond just acting. He's been involved in shaping the tone, personality, and direction of the entire franchise. With Deadpool 3 on the way, Disney is now facing a major challenge after cutting ties with someone so central to the character's success. This isn't just a creative setback. It's a huge financial risk. Losing Reynolds could upset a large part of the fan base and slow down the momentum of one of Disney's biggest moneymakers. Disney didn't originally create Deadpool. They took it over when they bought 20th Century Fox. Along with it came Reynolds' highly profitable deal. For a while, Disney seemed happy to keep the R-rated, edgy tone of the series. But with this sudden fallout, they now face a serious question. How do they continue without the man audiences view as the heart of Deadpool? Some believe Disney may already be working on backup plans. Recasting is an option, but that would likely spark backlash. Fans are deeply loyal, and to many of them, Reynolds is Deadpool. Delaying the movie could give them time to rethink their strategy, but it also risks throwing off the carefully planned Marvel release schedule. This kind of situation isn't new to Disney. When Scarlett Johansson sued the company over Black Widow's streaming release, it nearly ruined her relationship with the studio and disrupted future projects. Something similar seems to be happening here. Reynolds' legal battle with Justin Baldoni and the drama that's followed appears to have brought things to a tipping point. The case involving claims of defamation and public arguments has drawn unwanted attention. Disney, known for protecting its image, likely saw this mess as a growing problem. The situation became even more complicated with Blake Lively in the picture. Though she's not part of Disney's film slate, her latest movie, It Ends With Us, received poor reviews and didn't do well at the box office. Some insiders are wondering if her recent career slump added pressure on Disney's decision, making the couple seem like a bigger risk altogether. Now Disney is left holding one of Marvel's most valuable properties, but without the actor who helped make it so successful. Rumors suggest they're looking into ways to move forward without Reynolds, but there's no easy answer. Fans are watching closely, and any wrong step could damage trust in both the Deadpool brand and Marvel overall. Insiders remain tight-lipped about the deeper reasons for the split, but it's clear this decision wasn't made overnight. Something big happened behind the scenes, and how Disney manages the fallout will shape the future of not only Deadpool, but possibly the direction of its entire superhero universe.
Before we get to the lawsuits, let's go to Blake Lively in this article in the Daily Mail, an exclusive today. Oh, forlorn Blake Lively breaks cover. Far from Hollywood as insiders reveal new private battle, creeping regret over Justin Baldoni lawsuit. Oh, poor Blake. It must be so tough out there. Look at this forlorn. God, her outfits are the worst. Oh, this forlorn Blake Lively. She's really struggling here. She's really, really struggling in these two frames when everyone else is laughing around her, and clearly she is too. It's like, look at this guy howling in laughter. It must be so tough to be Blake Lively. They're at an equestrian farm in South Salem as their daughter competes in a horse show. So, she's really struggling. The relatable Blake Lively is so forlorn and struggling at a horse farm as her daughter competes in equestrian acts. Most people can afford to do that, right? To head off to horse farms for their daughters to compete in equestrian events. My God, I dislike this woman more and more as much as she goes out there. It's crazy because this whole article is trying to paint it as how difficult it is. Blake is striving for normalcy in her life, but the past few weeks have been incredibly challenging. It seems like every move she makes is now under constant criticism. You're just now realizing this after the Saturday Night Live thing, after the South by Southwest, after the stupid PR opportunity that was the donut shop. Oh, she now feels like her entire life has been turned upside down. Yeah, and it's your fault.
The situation between Disney and Ryan Reynolds, along with Blake Lively, is more tangled than it first seemed. According to people familiar with the matter, this wasn't a sudden reaction to a bad news story or a single incident gone wrong. Instead, it looks like a long buildup of problems that were never properly resolved. Tensions reportedly increased over time, with both professional disagreements and personal decisions contributing to the fallout. One major issue that added fuel to the fire was Reynolds' ongoing legal fight with Justin Baldoni. Some say Disney CEO Bob Iger got personally involved, allegedly asking Reynolds to walk away from the court battle. For someone at the top of the company to step in shows just how serious they thought the situation had become. The lawsuit, which involves claims of defamation, was attracting a lot of unwanted media attention, which began to damage Reynolds' public image, something Disney treats as seriously as box office success. The more the headlines focused on courtroom drama, the more Disney seemed to worry about the image of one of its biggest stars. But there's more to the story than legal problems. Rumors say creative disagreements between Reynolds and Disney's team had been growing. As someone who's very involved in shaping his roles, Reynolds likely had strong opinions about Deadpool 3 swords. While that kind of input can be valuable, it can also create tension if it starts to clash with the studio's vision. If there were disputes about how the film should look, feel, or be marketed, it may have caused deeper frustration on both sides. Blake Lively's role in all of this is less direct but possibly just as important. She hasn't taken on any major Disney roles, and that distance may have made things more complicated. In Hollywood, appearances matter. Being fully aligned with a brand is often expected, and her separate career path might have seemed like a lack of commitment to the larger Disney image. Another factor is Reynolds' packed schedule. He's involved in many business ventures like Mint Mobile and Wrexham AFC. While that might be admired elsewhere, it reportedly made Disney feel like Deadpool wasn't his top priority. Big studios want their stars to stay focused, especially when the stakes involve billions of dollars. Hollywood has seen these situations before. When Marvel parted ways with Edward Norton over creative control, it proved that even highly talented actors can be replaced if there's too much conflict. It doesn't always end careers, but it does shift futures. Now, the way Reynolds and Lively respond to this turning point could define how things unfold next. Their silence, or any future statements, might reveal much more than what's currently being shared.
One example, despite the FAC's preposterous $400 million damages claim, the opposition concedes that the FAC is in fact alleges no actual monetary harm whatsoever, instead relying exclusively on defamation per se theory that even if it were valid, which it's not, fails to allege cognizable damages for any of the FAC's other claims. In addition, the opposition concedes the FAC does not allege proximate causation, another fatal omission. The opposition reveals something much worse than the FAC's failure to state valid claims against Mr. Reynolds. Stunningly, it confirms that only 3 of the Wayfair parties, Mr. Baldoni, Mr. Heath, Wayfair, have articulated any legal claim against Mr. Reynolds at all. As detailed further below, the sole alleged defamatory statements concern only Mr. Baldoni. The other only alleged conduct as to extortion was directed at most Wayfair studios, Mr. Baldoni and Mr. Heath. And the only parties even arguably in contractual relationship with WME were Wayfair and Baldoni. But disregarding that rule of obligations, every Wayfair party asserted each claim against Mr. Reynolds, meaning that every Wayfair party, other than Mr. Baldoni, brought a federal lawsuit alleging at least one cause of action that they know they had no legal basis to assert. None of Mr. Sarowitz, Ms. Nathan, Ms. Abel, It Ends With Us, Manage, or Tag has a single cause of action against Mr. Reynolds that they even arguably possess. All those claims should be dismissed, and Mr. Reynolds should be awarded his attorney's fees and costs under New York law.
When Disney made the unexpected move to end its relationship with Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively, fans and entertainment watchers were completely caught off guard. People flooded social media with reactions. Some were shocked, others confused. Many questioned whether Disney acted too quickly or if this was the result of problems that had been brewing behind the scenes for a long time. One major question that followed was, how would Reynolds and Lively respond? So far, both have stayed completely silent. Known for being active online and sharing jokes or thoughts regularly, Reynolds has not said a word. He even turned off comments on some of his Instagram posts, something people took as a sign he wanted, to avoid adding to the drama. Blake Lively, too, has remained quiet. Though she's not directly involved in the controversy, her close connection to Reynolds brings her into the spotlight. Their decision to say nothing might be a way to keep things from getting worse. Sometimes, speaking out can lead to more trouble, especially if the situation is still developing. However, silence can also create space for rumors and questions. Without their input, Disney controls the story. Whether this silence helps or hurts them will depend on what happens next.
He had some choice words about Ryan Reynolds' choice words.
What did you think when you saw, Ryan, make light of the situation? I guess try to find some humor in all this.
I'm unaware of anybody, frankly, whose wife has been sexually harassed and has made jokes about that type of situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of anyone who's done anything like that. And so
This situation isn't only about Ryan Reynolds, Blake Lively, or even Disney. It highlights a bigger shift happening in Hollywood. The entertainment world is changing fast, and how a person looks in the public eye now matters more than ever. Even the most famous actors connected to billion-dollar movies can lose their spot if they don't match a studio's image. Disney choosing to let go of Reynolds, despite his huge popularity and success, shows that protecting their company's reputation is more important to them than holding on to any one celebrity. This move proves that studios are no longer willing to take big risks when it comes to negative attention, no matter how successful the actor might be. It's a strong signal that being famous doesn't guarantee long-term job security if public perception turns sour. What comes next is uncertain. Some people believe Disney could have handled the situation differently, while others feel this outcome couldn't be avoided. The conversation around this isn't over. The impact of this split could change how big studios work with stars in the future. Could this set a new standard for how Hollywood treats its talent? Let us know what you think, because this story is far from finished. Make sure to like, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments.